Do you want to take your Instagram marketing to the next level? If so, then you need to be on top of your Instagram performance. You need to be in the know on what is resonating the most with your audience. What kind of content is getting you followers and engagement? And what kind of posts are flatlining your growth? Your Instagram Insights will tell you all of this and more. And I'm going to show you how to access it, interpret it, and use it to better your results. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brandy with LYFE Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. Today, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about Instagram Analytics, also called Instagram Insights. You're going to get a real look into LYFE Marketing's Instagram Insights and learn what matters in your insights to see real growth. But before we dive in, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel for me for more digital marketing videos every single week. All right, so when you log into Instagram and look at your business profile, you should see the Insights button right there in the middle. This is only visible to you as the owner. The general public will not see the Insights button when looking at your page. If you tap the hamburger icon up at the top right, you can also access your Insights that way. So tapping the Insights button from our profile page, the first thing we see is that we have the ability to view things at a 7-day or 30-day view. So I'm going to look at 30 days. So scrolling down this page at a glance, we have Insights Overview where we can see accounts reached and content interactions. Instagram says these insights display your accounts reach, content interactions. Then we have your audience where you can see total followers and content you shared, including posts, stories, and IGTV videos. We currently are not posting lives or doing any in-app promotions, but if you are, those will appear there at the bottom as well. All right, now I'm going to live screen share on my phone with you to walk you through each of these metrics. All right, so I'm on my phone now, and we're first going to look at accounts reached. So we can see right off the bat, we've reached 638% more accounts than we did in the last 30 days, which is great. And this is what Instagram has to say about accounts reached. It says the number of unique accounts that have seen any of your posts, stories, including promoted posts or stories, IGTV videos, reels, live videos at least once. Top performing content is also based on the number of unique accounts that have seen your content. Reach is different from impressions, which may include multiple views of your post by the same accounts. This metric is estimated and in development. All right, so let's look at these metrics that they have on the page. I've got mine set to 30 days, but you can select your time period between 30 and 7. The accounts reached at the top is your total number. So for us, it's a little over 57,000 for this time period, which is great. And then we've got a pie chart here going over followers and non-followers based on reach. So we've got almost 50,000 non-followers that we've reached and about 7,500 followers that we've reached, which is great. And then below that, it shows you content type based on reach, so you can see where that reach is coming from. I'm not surprised at all to see that Reels is the top performer in terms of reach. Our Reels have been getting great reach. 51,000 of the 57,000 accounts reached are from Reels. And if you guys have watched our other videos on here, I know I've said in other videos that if you use the newer features, you're going to be favored more by the algorithm. Instagram wants you to use their features. So that doesn't surprise me at all to see that as the number one source of reach for us. And then it still, again, breaks it down between followers and non-followers. So the dark blue being non-followers, we're getting great brand awareness from that. And then we've got posts coming in next, IGTV videos and stories. Below that, we have top posts, and you can actually click into this one. So this one, the time period can be more than just 7 or 30 days. So you can select the time period that you want to look at there. I've got within the last year selected. You can choose what type of posts you want to look at, photos, videos, carousel posts, or any. And I've got any selected. And then you can choose the metric that you want to look at. So it automatically selects reach, but then when you tap the drop down, you see all these other different metrics. We have call button taps, comments, email button taps, follows, get directions taps, impressions, likes, post interactions, profile visits, reach, saves, shares, text button taps, video views, and website taps. So if you wanted to see what type of posts were getting you the most likes within the last year, you could filter it that way. If you want to see which type of posts are getting you the most comments within the last year, you could filter it that way. And this insights tool is great for determining what type of content is getting the most engagement, aka what kind of content do I need to make more of? What kind of content does our audience seem to be resonating with the most? So these are just good little toggles you can filter between to change up and see what kind of content you want to recreate or make more of. They have similar options for you on stories, so let's click into that one next. For this one, you can toggle between 7, 14, and 30 days. And you can look at it based on the back button, which it's not really a button, but if people tap back to look at the previous story, that's a metric you can look at. Call button taps, email button taps, exited, meaning they swiped up out of stories, not swiped up like a link, but they swiped out of stories altogether. Follows, next story, and I'm going to skip ahead and also talk about the forward down there because they're two different things. So next story means that they swiped over to the next account's story, and forward means that they tapped forward within your story. So I just wanted to clarify that. Get direction taps, impressions, link clicks, profile visits, reach, replies, shares, text button taps, website taps, and story interactions. So those are all the metrics you can filter in between. If you want to see how your stories are performing in terms of how many followers you're getting from them or how many clicks you're getting on them, you can filter between all of those metrics there. And then next up, we have Reels, the long-awaited insights for Reels. We've been waiting to see these. So this was released just a few days ago at the time that I'm filming this. But if you tap into it, we see similar functions. So we only started posting Reels within the last couple months, but I've just got it set to last year to include all of them to make sure. But you saw there the different time periods you can select. These are the different metrics that you can look at: comments, likes, saves, reach, plays, shares, and Reels interactions. So if you wanted to look at, well, right now it's currently set to reach. So you can see where that 50,000 number was coming from. These are reaching thousands of people almost every time. And some of our most recent Reels are getting into double digits with 10K and 12K. But let's look at likes. We can see which ones have the most amount of likes, which ones have the most amount of comments, saves. And for us in particular, we're all about providing value to small business owners, right? So a lot of our Reels are save worthy in the sense of like saying, hey, like let's look at this top one, right? That makes sense. The 3 free SEO tools. So you can see that that one was just really short and simple. It's just 3 free SEO tools that are helpful for business owners, right? A lot of times when people are scrolling through Instagram, they're not like in a headspace to actively be taking notes on something or learning something. A business owner scrolling through might be working on his SEO, but is not actively working on it at that moment. And so that's where the save button is really helpful because people can just save it into their save collection. If someone was like, oh, I want to look back at these free SEO tools, but I don't have time right now, they'll hit save on it. And it saves it into a different place in their Instagram account other than just likes. Because people like so many things, I feel like it could get lost in the mix. But when people are saving it, not only is that helpful for them to save it for later, like, oh, I want to reference this later, but saves way heavier in the Instagram algorithm as well, in terms of it weighs heavier than likes and comments. So that's just something to know. You can filter by saves and see how they're doing and see which type of Reels are getting you the most saves. So I just wanted to point that out. You can filter by plays as well, Reels interactions, So that's awesome. If you're in the marketing world, or if you've been, marketing your business on Instagram for any length of time recently, I'm sure you've also been waiting for the Reels insights as well. So they are here. Below that, we have top IGTV video insights. So tap into that. And same concept, you can toggle by different, or you can select different time periods, and you can toggle by these different metrics. One that's a little bit different than the others is average percentage watched. Now, one thing I will say is, in my opinion, people don't get on Instagram as much with the intention of watching a long video. I think Instagram is pushing for that, for longer time on the app with IGTVs, but I think for the most part, people view Instagram as a short, small bit of content type of platform. Like, you can just consume small bits of content really rapidly, like next, next, next. Like, we're seeing that with Reels. So I say all that to say that I'm not surprised that our average percentage watched on these is, around 3% and 2%. But if you wanted to look at these numbers to see which type of IGTVs that you're posting are getting longer watch times, this is a great place to look at for that. And same thing, you can filter by the different time periods there as well. So next up on the screen is impressions. And to just reiterate Instagram's description from earlier, impressions are different from reach. So this is not necessarily 145,000 individual people. If you saw the same post twice, that would count as 2 impressions. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at that metric. And then we have profile activity down here on the bottom. So showing profile visits, website taps, email button taps, get direction taps, and call button taps. So if you're looking at any of those metrics as a part of your marketing funnel, as how you get leads, and you want to measure how effectively they're working, you can look at that here. But all right, let's go back to the main insights page, and let's look at content interactions next. So what Instagram has to say about this is these insights measure your post, story, Reels, IGTV video, and live video content interactions for the selected time period. So again, I've got mine set to 30 days. And we've got 4,750 total content interactions, which is a 343% increase from the previous 30 days, which is great. The majority of those are coming in the form of likes, but we can also see the breakdown there of comments, saves, and shares. We also have story interactions. So we've had 3 replies to our stories. And then we've got Reels interactions. So it shows you out of your Reels how many of those interactions are likes, comments, saves, and shares. And the same thing for our IGTV video interactions. And we don't post lives, but again, if you do, you'll see those interactions there. I'm going to briefly tap through these just because you'll see it's the same screen that we were just on. So it's the same kind of metrics you can look at, and it's just another way to get to them. So you can find them under the accounts reach as well as the content interactions, but they have everything for posts, stories, Reels, IGTV, it's all here. All right, so I'm going to tap back to the main page here, and we can look at your audience next. All right, so I'm going to tap into it here. And this is what Instagram has to say about it. It says, when you tap your total followers, you can see more information about your audience, like their top locations, age range, gender, most active times, and more. So at the top here, we have our total amount of followers, which we just surpassed 20K recently, which is great. And then it shows your growth in terms of overall growth, follows and unfollows. And before I forget, up at the top, you can, again, toggle between 30 and 7 days. So scrolling down here, you can see the top locations of your followers, and you can switch between cities and countries. So for us, most of our followers are in the US and are in Atlanta. From what Instagram knows, not everybody might have their location available or listed for Instagram to know, but out of what it does know about our followers, it makes sense that Atlanta is the biggest city because we are based out of Atlanta. And then scrolling down, we've got age range. So you can kind of see the age range for all versus men and women out of your followers. Where did they land? Same thing for gender. How many of your followers are women versus men? And then down here at the bottom, I love this tool. It's the most active times. So this is when your followers are most active. So you can hit the arrows to look at the different days and see which hours of the days people are most online out of your followers. And then you can click days to just look at the week as a whole and see which days of the week people are most online. Now, our followers tend to be pretty steadily online, but this would be great for you to look at. Let's say you could see from this chart that people were way more active on Instagram throughout the weekdays as opposed to the weekend. You could see that here and make an informed decision on when you want to post your content as far as like what days you want to post, as well as what time of day you want to post based on this information here. And the reason that I love this is because it is based on your audience. There are so many blanket statistics out there that say, oh, posting around 3 p.m. is the best time. But, those are just made based off of huge surveys of people that might not include your audience. So that's a good tool for you down there. And as for these other charts up here with the gender and age range and locations, it's just good information to know about your audience on Instagram, especially if you're running any Instagram ads. It's a good tool for you to make a better informed decision on maybe who you should target with your ads, what type of followers you're pulling in. Is there anything surprising to you about it? Ask yourself, like, does this align with my ideal consumer, my ideal buyer persona? And if not, maybe we're attracting the wrong audience on Instagram. So this is just a good section here for you to keep a pulse on your Instagram audience. All right, next up, let's look at content you shared. And this is what Instagram has to say. It says number of posts, stories, reels, IGTV videos, live videos, and active promotions you shared for the selected time period, including today's date. So it's got it broken down between posts, stories, reels, IGTV videos, and then if we did lives or in-app promotions, those would be at the bottom there as well. And same thing here, when you tap into these screens, you're going to see the same metrics. So it's just a third way to get to these insights. I'll just tap through them quickly so you can see. Here we've got Reels and IGTV videos. So that about covers it for these insights. I'm going to jump back in front of the camera now. All right, so those are all of the analytics provided in the Instagram Insights. One other quick thing I wanted to show you was if you ever are just curious about the insights for a specific post, you can just click on that post from your profile and click View Insights and swipe up to see the post insights there. And if you're not publishing Reels or IGTVs to your main feed, then you can select one from your Reels feed or IGTV feed and tap the three dots and tap View Insights to view post insights that way. Now, having shown you everything, I want to quickly list out 2 takeaways on how to apply your Instagram Insights. First, use the content insights to listen to what your audience is trying to tell you. If they're not engaging with it, they're either not seeing it or not liking it. And you can tell if they're not seeing it because you can see the reach for any given post. So follow the engagement trail and create more of the type of content your audience wants to see from you. And number 2, use the account overview breakdowns to learn where your growth is coming from and invest more into that effort. Our very first reel that we made got over 2K views right off the bat. And in just a few short weeks, our reels are now pushing over 10 to 12,000 views. Reels are a huge driver of our Instagram's reach, so we're dedicating time and team efforts to make more of them. So likewise, pay attention to what's driving your growth, whether that's interactive stories, IGTVs, reels, or something else, and create more of that content. And while we're talking about it, I want you to go over to your Instagram Insights right now and tell me what your biggest source of reach is in the comments, because I want to know. But otherwise, that's all I have for you today. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.